What it do? So fellas, I'm gonna tell you the mind games that these women out here, they be playing on you guys over and over. And y'all, you guys gotta stop missing it. You guys can easily catch these mind games by paying attention to her behavior. Women are actually thinking they're outsmarting you guys, and most times they just put it in your face and y'all ignore it. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a lot of the mind games. And last thing I'll actually say that's very important before we get to the discussion, I need y'all to get that some of these mind games is really to get what she wants out of you. And then sometimes she has real expectations, real guidelines that she's not really playing mind games. It's more so, okay, you know, the program is this, and if you don't know it, if you can't get a part of it, if you're not a part of it, she does not want you in her life. So in other words, sometimes mind games is really flat out, she doesn't want you as well. Okay, give this video a big thumbs up. And fellas, if you want to talk about her, could be a specific woman, it could be anything, it could be a lot of women, or maybe your goal, something more positive, click that link down below. Let's book, or you book, a consultation with your girl. And it could be anything. Once again, fellas, after this video, let's get to the talking. Okay, so first things first, it's a discussion, but let's get straight to what I have written down. And this is a crazy mind game, but you guys will notice now when you think about it how much women do it. She will go ahead and be happy, be nice when you go ahead and get mad. Whoo, this mind game is, I want to say killer, but really this mind game is just the most easiest one for any woman to do. And this is based on your emotions. So the first things first, what women are doing is moving based on what you do. So sometimes she could either not know what type of man you are, or she could either look at you and be like, okay, well, this is what women do. I play hot and cold games. I test you. I will constantly test you, right? So it doesn't really matter right now what approach she's trying to take. It just understand it's a mind game. So what she's trying to do first is see what you're doing. How you're going to react is going to be, you know, based on who you are. Are you a simp? Are you an alpha guy? Are you a guy that gets mad easily? Are you the type of guy that has no patience for women? And so what you can really understand is that when she's playing these mind games, it helps her. And once again, she's following you in this mind game. It helps her understand where she should place you in her life. So y'all know I talk about rotation and whatever and whatnot. Hey, she could have only 2 guys. You gotta multiply, you know. Maybe she has 3. You gotta multiply by 3. However, it could be a little bit, a lot, but she has to put you in a place in her life. And this is really why mind games start, because women have so much options. So the second, and it could be based on their emotions, most times it's that, or based on just not being realistic. The second a man is not living up to what she's saying, oh, let me run to the mind games. The second, and this is kind of more realistic for people that are dating people right now. The second she sees you, if you do not have basically the nicest car, the nicest clothing, the nicest place, don't have status, all that stuff, the second she knows this about you, she has this understanding, or even thinks, and most times women are just thinking, they don't even really know too. Obviously a lot shows, but the second that is there, the mind games are put in place. So y'all gotta also look at it, and I'll go back into this whole, when you go ahead and start getting mad, how, you know, it also gets her feeling like, ooh, okay, you're really not about the games. Ooh, okay, you don't play, you don't take disrespect. And y'all know the alpha guys get the most respect out here. I would say sigmas too, but alphas, because you can't even get a pinch. And a lot of times, y'all know alphas out here, they don't play. And so a lot of girls know, okay, you cross the line, you might end up in tears, okay? But let me just backtrack when I say, with these mind games, you also have to understand, if she's testing you and she's looking at you and saying that I decided to do this mind game, what also it is her protecting herself. So it's kind of her viewing you a certain way, absolutely. But how can she protect herself from basically wasting her time, basically having you maybe play her at the end when, you know, you don't even have enough money in some woman's mind to play her. So the mind games is kind of like an ego boost as well, right? Y'all gotta get that. When you guys fall for these mind games, she's feeling more confident. She's feeling more, okay, well, I just accomplished that based on my looks. So, for example, before we kind of move on to the next thing, I have 2 things today, but once again, I always elaborate in other videos, so you'll probably hear these things again no matter what. But if you do have questions on specific things that I said, let your girl know and give this video a big thumbs up. So the last thing to really wrap up with this is understand, if you are getting upset and you are falling for her mind games, right? Falling for her test, for her trap. What is happening is that you're only showing her, once again, that you're soft. But the reality of it is that any man, if you understand woman's nature and woman's games, when she reacts to a moment that she needs you to start softening up or listening to her, and like, let's say she's in her feelings, right? She's emotional. Maybe it's the time of the month. Those moments, if you do not understand, not knowing the mind games, not knowing, the program to actually have yourself look good in her eyes, and she's maneuvering based on you. If you do not crack, then you will show her that you're not about the games. This is why a woman will stick around or be obsessed with that guy and come back around, because every time she does this type of mind games, right? Okay, well, now he's mad at me and now I got to be nice. Every time she does that, he sees right through it. And when he sees right through it, what does he do? He goes ahead and pushes her away. Not in a bad way, I would say, but in a way where it's kind of like, okay, I know what you're doing. And then obviously there is some guys that, once again, are not with the BS, so they are not even going to be sticking around. And for her, she knows, this is the part where y'all got to get that women truly do know what they're doing. So she knows that, okay, I tried this before with a guy like this, or I tried this with him and it doesn't work. So mind games obviously are tests. So she's constantly testing guys multiple times over and over. And the thing is, because she's runs based on her emotions, a lot of times she's making decisions quickly because she's not thinking before she's making these decisions. She's just feeling these feelings. And so when she reacts, this is where some women will go down bad because they'll react with the wrong guys, right? So for an example, so we can completely wrap up, they'll react wrong with the wrong guys. And what would happen, and wrong guys as in the guys, like for them, if a girl comes across him, she's messed up because the games is not going to be played. But backtrack, what happens is that she starts reacting bad, right? So for an example, real quick, you guys get into an argument, whatever, and every single time you always decide to be nice with her. You always decide to forgive her, okay? Now, you decide not to do it no more. So once, she plays her game, she's petty, you cut her off, or let's say, better yet, you just are not with it, you're upset, you show real emotions that you're not really about this, you're about to go, whatever. So boom, that pattern grows like 2-3 times, right? And she now has this idea of, wow, well, every time I do this happens. Or now he's changed and so I can't do this. So boom, now the second that you guys have moments where you start getting upset with her, you start getting mad with her, what happens? It's going to be down to, okay, I have to simmer down. I have to calm down. And that's simply down to the mind games that she played. She knows every single time this is how you react. She knows what it makes her feel. She knows that she could lose you. She knows that mind games like this can work with simps to get what you want, but not with you. So I'll leave that at that. But once again, I always do elaborate. And if you have your questions, let me know. If you have your stories as well and other questions too, you guys, other people be helping. I love how you guys communicate with each other. I try my best to obviously comment back to everybody. So, just let your comments be down below. Somebody else will help, if anything. But give this video a big thumbs up. And so we can lastly finish up with, and this is just kind of to end the video really strong. Another mind game a woman will do, and this relates back to the okay, well, your mood is like this, so I have to react like this because it's gonna work in my favor. Okay, so the next thing is she'll say yes and no. She'll basically, now it's her turn to react. And this is where you'll see it's such a game, man. So now it went from where we started with you being upset. Now she has to be nice to you because she doesn't want you to be upset so she can get her way. But it only lasts so long. So it started off with your reaction. And then we move on to now her reaction. And this is where she gets her control. This is how she understands that, well, I gave him this chance. This chance was a test, but he failed, right? Because you decided to, and this is how you feel the first part, and we're relating it right back to each other, right? Comparing it. But you failed because instead, you didn't realize that, okay, she's doing this game every time, so you decided to fall into the trap of her being nice and allowing it to be real, thinking it's real. She's actually genuinely being nice. That's a fail right there. But now when she understands, when she keeps going with this test, and you're going to keep getting tests, trust me, as you keep dealing with her, there's no escaping that. So the next part for her own test, she understands that part. You failed that part. Can you fail this next test? And this next mind game is going to be, I'm going to say yes. And that's because I never say yes, but I have to say yes because I'm in trouble. You see, anytime basically she understands there's a chance of her, let's say it like this so you guys can completely understand, because it's kind of different in her mind. She takes it or she comprehends it completely different, right? So take it like this so you guys can get it. anytime that you basically sink into the trap of her behavior changing so you can think otherwise, is you failing. So if you basically have a moment where, and this is relating to the last thing, she says yes after saying no. It could be a date. It could be finally seeing you, a second time seeing you. It could be honestly just being on the phone for 30 minutes, maybe even just something simple as post me. You guys are together and she never posted you. You know, there's an ex that always watches. You know, I know it gets really, really messy. I don't even want to get into the details. But you see, just that case right there. If we move forward, fellas, and it gets to the wrapping up, what's going to happen? She's going to now say yes, yes. Or she's going to, you know, in this moment, think like, okay, well, I have to save myself. Or you know what? And if it's not saving, I'm just testing. Or can I get away with this? There's so many little reasons, but it's all back to selfishness. It's all back to, well, is this going to make me happy, or what's going to work best for me? So now that you fall for the second trick, after she already did the first one, I already explained it, but now she says yes to seeing you. Whatever it is, she finally did what it is to make you happy, and it's a response by her actions. What she now did, you fell into it and failed once again, because it's a mind game that it's only going to be done when she has to do it. It's only going to be done to test you or to get answers. So in other words, take mind games as in it's playfulness. Like, it's really in the word mind, and, you know, or games, whatever. I meant to say games first, but it's really there. It's, you know, mind games. So you can't expect to get more out of that if it's pettiness, if it's fooling around, not taking you serious. And once again, when these options are so high for a lot of women, and we got to understand social media is a big part of it, DMs is a big part of it, right? Even when we talk about dating sites, that's a huge part. If y'all don't know, like, women really be having more luck still with getting the guys. So however, when we talk about these mind games, it's games, it's tricks, it's you know, at this point, I hate to say it like this, but it's kind of built in a lot of these females, and it's almost due to not knowing what they want, of course, and then a lot of the in work that has to be done. And this is how I'll wrap up this video. These mind games, a woman that's fully not trying to be dealing with mind games, kid games, and also wanting something serious, or at least understanding the seriousness maybe will come later, right? That means maybe she's not having luck with dating, or maybe she wants to wait. However, a woman that is really not about the mind games, and she knows what's the value out here, what is valuable, what is worth her time, what actually other people should get out of her as well. You know, it's not just about her. But with all that all being said, right, with that type of woman, the mind games is actually not going to happen. What will happen is test. A woman will test to see if you love her, or if you still find her attractive. A woman will ask you, does she look good, or what do you like? Maybe she wants to please you. There's going to always be those. And that part has to be normal, right? You know, it's not always going to be smooth response. It's not always going to be the best reactions from both ends, but it doesn't matter, because when we talk about a woman that's not about the mind games, she's not out here fooling around and wasting your time. So in other words, realistically, mind games is for kids. Mind games is really, there's no point. But the sad truth is that because we live, you know, we're in the modern day, because of that, it runs a certain specific way. And so when we talk about women specifically, when we talk about the games that a lot of women play out here, they're already doing it, and there's no other way around it. Like, and a lot of times some women are doing it not only because they really want to, but it's kind of like they think they're saving themselves as well, right? If I do this, and sometimes it's them actually putting their guards up completely, and it's stopping them from actually completely getting the man of their dreams. Or this is so annoying, I'm sorry, but oh well, the video's almost done. But yeah, so the mind games, you know, when she's serious, or she understands that, hey, well, maybe eventually this will happen, and so I gotta act this part. Or maybe she realizes I gotta step back because this is just creating this more and hurting me more, and not allowing me to heal or be available to be fully healed for somebody else to love me, type of stuff. You get what I mean? So overall, the mind games, you're going to find it everywhere. You're going to find plenty of women playing these games. But what I would like to say is that you do not have to entertain these mind games. Same way, if there's woman, or if there is that woman that comes into your life and she's not about it, she's not going to entertain it. She's going to cut you off. If there's a woman that knows exactly what she wants, and truly that inner work is probably done, has to be done, then you are going to be the one that's only playing these mind games, or you're used to old mind games from other women and it created you to be someone that she doesn't now want. You get what I'm saying? So be true to yourself. Know what you will tolerate. That woman that doesn't want mind games, she should know the same thing as well. But it's going to change and be differently for everybody, right? So, you know, really pay attention to the type of woman that you're dealing with. Pay attention more so to her reaction and then how she reacts as well to control this whole type of mind game battlefield that's going on. All right. So that is it for this video. Y'all, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, it's the glass. It's so annoying, but you know, we'll figure out a future solution. With that just being said, though, if you haven't given this video a big thumbs up, please do so. And lastly, fellas, book your consultation. We can literally talk about anything you want. It could be, you know, about a girl. Once again, it could be about yourself. What do you have next? If you have questions for me as well, let me know. Whether you want to comment it down below or maybe you want to ask through consultations, go ahead and do so. And y'all will see me in my next video. And make sure you check out those other links. Okay, bye, you guys.